Let your mind be like a mirror. It reflects everything, but holds nothing. Chuang Tzu. Have you ever felt trapped inside your own head? Do your thoughts sometimes feel louder than your peace? Have you ever asked yourself, why am I thinking this, and why can't I stop? If you've ever wrestled with your own mind, you're not alone, and you're not broken. And welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. I'm so glad you're here. This video may quietly shift the way you see your thoughts and yourself forever. You see, millions of people wake up every day, already exhausted, not by their bodies, but by their minds. They're stuck in worry, stuck in regret, stuck in stories that play again and again. Stories like, I'm too old to change, I've missed my chance, this is just how I am. But here's the truth, you are not your thoughts. And in the next few minutes, you'll see why that matters. You'll discover a quiet truth from Buddhist wisdom, one that can free your mind, calm your heart, and bring you back to the peace you may have forgotten. At Son.Mindfulness, we create simple, healing content for mindful living, especially for those walking through the golden years of life. Our mission is to offer calm, clarity, and gentle companionship through the teachings of presence, compassion, and wisdom. If you find peace here, please consider supporting us by subscribing to the channel. Your presence means the world to us, and we're truly grateful you've chosen to spend this moment with us. We hope this video brings you insight, comfort, and renewal. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be deeply happy and lucky in every step. So if you've ever wondered, what if I'm not the voice in my head? Then stay with us to the very end, because what you discover today might quietly change everything. Let's begin. Part 1. Thoughts are not yours, they simply arise. Have you ever tried to choose your next thought? Really pause for a second. Try to decide what your very next thought will be. It's not as easy as it sounds, is it? Most of the time, a thought just appears. You didn't invite it, you didn't consciously create it. It simply arrived unannounced. But if that's true, who exactly is doing the thinking? Is it really you? Or are thoughts thinking themselves through you? These questions may seem strange at first, but they are at the very heart of Buddhist understanding. 1. You don't think thoughts. They think you. In the 20th century, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet ran an experiment. He measured the brain activity of people making a decision. What he found shocked the scientific world. The brain began preparing to act before the person consciously chose to do anything. It was as if the brain made the decision first, and the I followed after. Now pause. Doesn't that sound familiar? A thought enters your mind, and only then do you say, I had a thought. But the thought came first. Your sense of I comes in afterward and takes credit. This is one of the oldest habits of the mind. The Buddha saw it more than 2,500 years ago. He said, all things are preceded by the mind, led by the mind, formed by the mind. But he also saw something deeper, that thoughts arise by themselves. They are not you. 2. A story from a soldier turned monk. Let me tell you about General Saito. He was a brilliant Japanese war strategist in the early 1900s. By age 50, he had won every campaign he commanded. But inside, he was tormented, haunted by war memories, troubled by guilt. Thoughts rushed through his mind like a battlefield. One day, he visited a Zen master in Kyoto. He bowed and asked, "Master, how can I silence the war in my mind?" The Zen master simply replied, "Show me your next thought." General Saito was confused. He closed his eyes and waited. Seconds passed, then minutes. Finally, he opened his eyes with tears. "I cannot choose my next thought," he whispered. The Zen master smiled. "Then why do you believe you are the one thinking them?" From that moment, the general left the military. He became a humble monk, and every time a painful memory arose, he would say, "This is just a passing thought. I do not need to become it." Number 3, what about you? Have you ever been startled by a thought you didn't want? Have you ever judged yourself for a thought that just popped into your head? Did you think, why am I thinking this? I must be a bad person. But what if you didn't choose it? What if thoughts are more like the weather? They pass through. They change by the hour, and they're not your fault. Let's try something together right now. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. Now, try to predict the next thought that enters your mind. Were you able to, or did it arrive on its own? This is a powerful moment of recognition. 4. What the Buddha really taught. One of the most liberating teachings in Buddhism is found in the Anattalakkana Sutta. It means the discourse on not self. In it, the Buddha says, "This is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself." He wasn't just talking about the body, he was also speaking about your mind, about your thoughts. He was pointing to a deep truth. Just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't mean it's yours. Thoughts are like echoes. They come from causes, memories, sights, smells, old fears. They arise, they stay a while, and they pass. What if you stopped grabbing each one? What if you simply noticed them? Wouldn't your heart feel lighter? 5. Gentle reflection for you. What thought is trying to pull you in today? Is it a worry? A regret? A loop that won't stop? You don't need to push it away. You also don't need to believe it. Try this whisper. This is just a thought. It is not me. It will pass. Let it float like a leaf on a stream. Let it go where it goes. And remember, you are the one who watches the thoughts, not the one who creates them. When we stop thinking that every thought belongs to us, a door opens. But then we must ask a harder question. If most thoughts aren't mine, then what are they? Are they helpful? Are they kind? Or are they quietly poisoning our peace? Let's go deeper together. Next, part 2. Most thoughts are neither kind nor true. Part 2. Most thoughts are neither kind nor true. Have you ever noticed how harsh your mind can be? It criticizes, it judges, it whispers fear into silence. And here's the painful part. Those thoughts sound like you. The voice feels familiar, it feels personal. So you believe it? But pause for a moment. Would you talk to a friend the way your thoughts talk to you? Would you tell someone you love, you're not good enough, you failed again, you'll never change? Then why do you let your thoughts speak that way to you? 1. The 3 poisons, the root of restless thinking. In Buddhism, there's a teaching about the 3 poisons. They are the source of most suffering in the mind. Their names are simple but powerful. Lobha, greed or craving. Dosa, hatred or aversion. Moha, delusion or ignorance. These are not just big ideas. They are the roots behind your racing thoughts. When you worry about the future, that's craving for control. When you replay an argument, that's aversion to what happened. When you think, I'm worthless, that's delusion born from old wounds. Your mind doesn't create these thoughts to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. But like a frightened animal, it lashes out even when danger isn't real. 2. A story from the Buddha and the angry monk. One day, a monk came to the Buddha, trembling with rage. He said, I meditate every day, but I am filled with angry thoughts. I feel like a failure. The Buddha didn't criticize him. He simply asked, do you believe every thought that comes? The monk said yes. Then the Buddha pointed to a bowl of water. He said, if the water is muddy, would you drink it? The monk replied, no, master. I would let it settle first. The Buddha smiled. Then why do you drink from the muddy water of your mind? That moment changed the monk forever. He didn't stop thinking, but he stopped believing every thought. 3. The mind's tricks. How we hide from feelings sometimes. We overthink not because we're deep, but because we're avoiding. Have you ever caught yourself analyzing a conversation again and again? Have you ever spent hours planning a future that never arrived? Underneath all that thinking, was there a feeling you didn't want to feel? Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, called this a defense mechanism. In Buddhism, it's called avijja, ignorance. But not ignorance as in stupidity. It's more like forgetting who you really are. You are not your thoughts. You are the space they pass through. 4. When sadness thinks through you. Let's look at sadness. Have you ever felt sadness take over? not just feeling sad, but thinking sad. Your mind becomes heavy. Your thoughts replay regrets. Your future looks dim. And yet, you didn't try to think that way. The sadness was thinking through you. It borrowed your mind. It spoke with your voice. It filled your head with thoughts like, I'll never be happy again. No one truly understands me. What's the point? Are those thoughts true? Or are they simply expressions of emotion? The answer can change your life. 5. A story from Queen Malika. The Whisper of Shame. Queen Malika was the beloved wife of King Pasenadi in the Buddha's time. She was wise and kind, but one day she made a grave mistake. Ashamed, she withdrew from the world. Her mind punished her. It told her she was no longer worthy. When she met the Buddha, she could barely speak, but the Buddha looked into her eyes and said, "A thought is not a sentence. A thought is not a truth. It is a cloud, not the sky." Malika wept, not from shame, but relief. Even queens believe the lies in their minds, and even queens can wake up from them. 6. Let's reflect together. What thought has been repeating in your head lately? Is it kind? Is it helpful? Or is it just noise pretending to be truth? Let me ask you gently, if someone you love shared that thought with you, what would you tell them? Would you believe it for them? Or would you hold their hand and say, "That's not who you are"? You deserve the same kindness. You deserve to question your thoughts. You deserve peace. 7. A simple practice, naming the voice. Try this. The next time your mind speaks harshly, do not argue. Just name it. This is fear. This is regret. This is old shame. You don't have to fix it. Just recognize it. The moment you name it, something shifts. You step out of the storm and into the sky. But now that we've seen how thoughts can be cruel and misleading, let's ask a deeper question. Where do these thoughts come from? Are they truly random, or are they part of a larger web? To answer that, we must understand how the mind creates an entire world out of nothing. Up next, Part 3, the mental movie, when the mind becomes your world. Part 3, the mental movie, when the mind becomes your world. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your life as a movie. In this movie, you're the main character. Everything that happens is about you. Every glance, every silence, every word someone says or doesn't say. Your mind writes the script, it chooses the lighting, it directs the scene. But here's the problem. This movie isn't real. It's edited, biased, and often driven by old fears, memories, and beliefs. 1. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world through your thoughts. You don't meet reality directly. You meet your mind's version of it. There's a powerful quote by Anais Nin. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. Can you feel the truth in that? Have you ever misunderstood someone because of your own past? Have you ever assumed rejection when the person was just tired? The mind fills in gaps with old stories. But those stories aren't facts. They're familiar, and that makes them feel true. But familiarity isn't truth. 2. How thoughts are born. The web of conditions. So where do thoughts really come from? In Buddhism, there's a beautiful teaching called dependent origination. It shows us that nothing arises by itself. Everything, especially thoughts, arises from a chain of causes. It starts simply. You see something, you hear a sound, you feel a sensation. That contact creates a basic feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Then the mind steps in, it labels, it remembers, it reacts. That reaction becomes a thought. The thought becomes a story. The story becomes your reality. 3. A rose in a memory. One object, two worlds. Let's say you see a rose. For one person, it's just a pretty flower. For another, it reminds them of their mother's funeral. Same rose, different mind, different world. The rose didn't change, your perception did. That perception gives birth to a thought. This flower is beautiful, or this flower breaks my heart. Can you see how personal history shapes your present? Can you feel how past wounds color today's sky? 4. A general and the silent soldier. During the Three Kingdoms period in China, General Zhuge Liang led many battles with wisdom. One day, a soldier approached him. "General," the man said, "I feel invisible. My comrades ignore me. Zhuglian didn't speak. He poured water into 2 cups. In one he added black ink, in the other, pure tea. He pointed and said, "Same water, different substance, different reflection." Then he asked, "Are you being ignored, or are you seeing through old ink?" The soldier understood. The problem wasn't the world, it was the story in his mind. 5. The mind builds a world, then believes it. Have you ever walked past someone and they didn't say hello? Did your mind say, "They're angry at me. I must have done something wrong"? That person may have simply been distracted. But your movie plays out anyway. Scene after scene, dialogue after dialogue. Suddenly, you feel sad, hurt, unwanted, not because of reality, but because of a story your mind told you. That story feels real, but it's not the truth. It's just the mind making a movie again. 6. A puzzle the Buddha solved. The Buddha once said, "When this exists, that arises. When this ceases, that ceases." This means everything is linked. Thoughts don't come from nowhere. They come from contact, from sensation, from memory, from reaction. That's why the same situation affects people differently. You don't suffer because of life. You suffer because of how the mind interprets life. You don't cry because someone didn't call. You cry because of the meaning your mind gave that silence. That's the movie. That's the illusion. Let's reflect together. What movie has your mind been playing lately? Are you the rejected one? The forgotten one? The one who always gets it wrong? Ask yourself, who wrote this script? Is this scene even real? Or am I watching a memory play dress up? You have the power to question the film. You can step out of the screen and back into your breath, into this moment, into what's real. 8. A story of King Milinda, the mind as a trickster. King Milinda, an ancient Greek ruler in India, once asked a monk, "Where is the self located?" The monk pointed to a chariot. "Is the chariot the wheel, the seat, the axle?" The king replied, "No, it is the sum of its parts." "So too," said the monk, "the self is just a collection of thoughts. No single part is you, but you cling to the whole." The king was silent. He saw the trick. The self was a role in a story, nothing more. 9. A mirror, not a movie. You are not the actor. You are not the script. You are not the camera. You are the one watching, and the watcher does not need to suffer. You can watch a sad scene and not become sad. You can witness anger and not become angry. That's the gift of awareness. To be present, but not possessed. To feel, but not fuse. So far, we've uncovered the illusion. We've seen how thoughts pretend to be truth, but what exists beyond the thoughts? If we stop identifying with the movie, what remains? Up next, Part 4, The Silent Witness, the Space Beyond Thought. Part 4, The Silent Witness, the Space Beyond Thought. Have you ever listened to silence? Not just the silence around you, but the silence inside you? It's not easy to find, is it? Because the mind rarely stops talking. It plans, it remembers, it worries, it analyzes. But what happens when we stop following the noise? What happens when we simply notice the space between thoughts? That space is where your true self lives. Not the thinker, not the story, but the one who watches. 1. Thoughts are clouds. You are the sky. Think of a cloudy day. The clouds roll in. They block the sun, but the sky is still there. The clouds are temporary. The sky is constant. Your mind is the same. Thoughts come and go. Some are dark, some are light, but behind them all is awareness. Always present, always still, always free. 2. What is awareness? Awareness is not a thought. It doesn't judge, it doesn't label, it simply knows. It is the part of you that can see a thought without becoming it, the part that notices emotions without drowning in them. The Buddha called this the radiant mind, luminous, untouched by defilement. It's always there, but we forget, because the noise is so loud. 3. A story from Zen master Benkei, the unborn mind. Benkei was a famous Zen master in Japan. One day a samurai came to him. "Master," he said, "my mind is wild. I cannot control my anger." Benkei looked at him gently. "Then where is your mind right now?" The samurai paused. He couldn't find it. Benkei smiled. "You say your mind is angry, but where is it?" The samurai was speechless. Benkei continued, The true mind is unborn. It is not angry, not sad, not proud. It was a turning point. The samurai realized something profound. His anger was like a cloud, but he was the sky. 4. A practice for you. Return to the witness. Let's try a small practice together. Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Now listen, not to the room, not to your breathing, but to the space between thoughts. Do you feel it? That tiny pause? That quiet? That's you. Not your name, not your past, but the presence that sees without judgment. 5. You've been here before. Remember the times you felt deeply peaceful? Maybe sitting by the ocean, or holding a grandchild, or watching the sunrise in silence. That stillness you felt, that was awareness. You didn't have to create it, it was already there, waiting for you to notice. 6. What happens when you stop reacting? The moment you stop chasing thoughts, something amazing happens. The mental dust begins to settle, like muddy water left untouched, it begins to clear. This is what Lao Tzu meant when he said, "Muddy water clears when left alone." You don't have to fix every thought. You don't have to fight every emotion. You simply let them be. And in that letting go, you come home to yourself. 7. A story of the Buddha under the tree. One afternoon, the Buddha sat under a sal tree. A student approached him. "Master, I try to stop thinking, but thoughts keep coming." The Buddha pointed to the river. "Can you stop the river from flowing?" The student shook his head. "No, Master." The Buddha nodded. "Then why try to stop the mind from moving?" He placed a leaf on the water. "Let the thought come, let it go. Like this leaf, do not follow, do not resist, just observe. That's all." That's the practice. 8. Let's reflect together. What thoughts have you been chasing today? What stories have you been wrestling with? Have you stopped to notice the space between them? Have you allowed yourself to rest in the silence? Try asking yourself now, what if I didn't respond to this thought? What if I just let it pass? Not every cloud deserves your attention. Not every thought needs your answer. You are allowed to be still. You are allowed to be free. 9. A gentle bridge to the final insight. So now you've tasted it. That quiet witness. That open sky behind every thought. But one question remains. How do I stay free in daily life? How do you live from awareness, not just visit it? That's what we'll explore next. Part 5. True Freedom. Stop believing every voice in your head. Part 5. True Freedom. Stop believing every voice in your head. What if I told you freedom isn't about controlling your thoughts? What if peace doesn't come from fighting the mind, but from watching it? You see, your mind will always think. It's designed to. But you don't have to believe everything it says. You don't have to obey every voice inside your head. That's where freedom begins. One, thoughts are like waves. You are the ocean. Imagine standing at the edge of the sea. Waves rise and fall. Some are soft, some are violent, but the ocean doesn't resist them. It holds them and remains unchanged. You are the same. Your thoughts are like waves, but your awareness, that's the deep ocean. Steady, vast, unmoved. You can learn to watch thoughts rise and fall without being pulled into them. Number 2, you are not trapped. You just forgot the door is open. Many of us live inside a mental cage, made of beliefs, of fears, of old stories. But here's the truth. This cage doesn't have a lock. The door is already open. You're free to step out. But first you have to see that you're inside. You have to stop thinking every thought is your master. You have to ask, is this thought helping me? Is this voice even telling the truth? 3. A story of Ajahn Chah. Let the thought pass. Ajahn Chah, a Thai forest monk, once told his students, "You cannot stop birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest in your hair." He was talking about thoughts. They will come. They will pass. But you don't have to invite them in. You don't have to feed them tea. You can nod and let them go. That's mindfulness. That's wisdom. 4. The power of one question. The next time your mind says, "I need this, I must do that, I'm not enough," pause. Ask this simple question. Says who? Is it your heart, your wisdom, or is it just the echo of an old wound? A habit, a fear, When you question a thought, you take away its power. You stop feeding the fire. And what's left is clarity, stillness, peace. 5. Enlightenment is simpler than you think. It's not about glowing in a cave or floating above the ground. It's about this: seeing a thought and not becoming it, feeling a fear and not obeying it, hearing an inner voice and saying thank you, but not today. You don't have to win a war against the mind. You just stop going to the battlefield. 6. A lesson from the Buddha: nothing is to be clung to. The Buddha said, nothing is to be clung to as I or mine. That includes your body, your emotions, your thoughts, even your idea of who you are. Freedom doesn't come from clinging tighter. It comes from releasing gently, letting go of needing to be right, letting go of the need to know everything, letting go of the pressure to fix every thought. When you let go, you rise. 7. A simple practice: the pause between. Try this. When a painful thought arises, do not react. Do not resist. Just pause. Breathe once. Name it gently. This is doubt. This is fear. This is old pain. Then let it be. Watch it drift. No need to judge it. No need to hold it. It came. It stayed. It will go, like all things. 8. Let's reflect together. Which voice in your head do you listen to the most? The one that uplifts you or the one that shames you? If a friend said the things your mind says to you, would you still be their friend? Then maybe it's time to make friends with your true self instead. The one who watches, the one who breathes, the one who already knows peace. We're 9. Soft transition to the final reflection. Now you've come this far. You've seen the movie your mind creates. You've tasted the silence behind thought. You've stood in the open sky of awareness. But what does it all mean? What is the heart of this journey? Let's gather everything. Let's return home. Next, conclusion. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky. Conclusion. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky. You've come a long way. You've walked through 5 deep teachings together. Each one gently opened a door inside you. Let's pause and look back. You learned that thoughts arise on their own. You saw that most thoughts are not kind or true. You discovered how your mind builds a movie and casts you as the star. You tasted the stillness behind thought, the silent witness within. And finally, you touched real freedom. Not by controlling the mind, but by letting go of believing every thought. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not your regrets. You are the space behind them. You are the sky that holds the clouds. Calm, steady, limitless. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for opening your heart to something deeper. Thank you for being curious, brave, still enough to listen. You didn't just finish a video. You completed a journey of insight, a journey of return, back to your true self. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. Will you remember to pause when thoughts get loud? Will you sit in silence and notice the space? Will you ask yourself, is this thought even true? Do I need to believe this voice? These are small questions, but they open wide doors. What touched you the most in today's journey? Was there a part that felt like it spoke just to you? Have you had moments in life where you noticed the silent witness? Please share your experience in the comments below. Your story may help someone else feel less alone. If you found peace in this teaching, if you felt a little more clarity or lightness, please consider supporting our space here. Subscribe to Son.Mindfulness. Like this video if it brought value to your day, and share it with a friend who might need a moment of calm. May your days be peaceful. May your mind be kind. May your heart rest in stillness. May you walk gently with each passing thought. May you remember you are not the storm, you are the sky. Always free, always home. Thank you.